This is Len Iquinta for WGTD 91.1 FM with the Political Candidates Forum for Kenosha County Board. We reached out to all the candidates and asked them to provide us with 4 to 8 minutes of their time so that you could hear their positions on the issues. They are in district numbers, so you can click on a district and go directly to the one that's of greatest interest to you first. And now we will have the first district forum. And now from District 1 of the County Board, we have candidate William Grady. Mr. Grady, could we have your opening 1-minute statement, please?
Yes, thank you. My name is Bill Grady. I'm running for re-election for County Board Supervisor of the 1st District. And thank you, WGTD, for this opportunity and hosting the forum. I've served the 1st District for over the past 20 years. Rather than making an I speech opening statement, let's focus upon what is a County Board Supervisor. This is the Bill Grady definition, if you will. County supervisors are elected officials that serve and represent the people in the area in which he or she lives. It is a confusing supervisor versus alderman. City has aldermen, county has supervisors. Supervisors represent people on county issues. What area or district do you represent? In the area of Kenosha, from 52nd Street in the south, think about Common Grounds Coffee Shop, to 35th Street on the north, think about Penoyer Park, the band shell, and 22nd Avenue going to the west. This is District 1. What does a county board supervisor do? We look for the best interests of the people in our district. The biggest single item should be and is the county's budget and the way our tax dollars are spent. More about that in a moment.
All right. Mr. Grady, could you tell us what are the issues representing the district that are important for you to be lifting up to the county board in the future, sir?
The issues, and I'll dwell upon this at some length in the future, is budget, budget, and more budget. We pay a fair amount of taxes here as taxpayers of Kenosha County, and it's our job to make sure that those dollars are spent wisely. And we have a whole variety of issues that are before us. I could delve into them at some length, but the idea is to make sure that the taxpayers' money is being spent wisely. That's the biggest issue.
And what are the countywide issues that you think that are going to be facing the county board that you want to take a position on and lift up to the public?
Well, look at it this way, Len, if you would. We are in the midst of a metropolis. We have Chicago in the south and Milwaukee in the north. We're growing at a very rapid rate. And the idea is, how do we maintain the quality of life, the infrastructure, the parks, the roads, all these things that make Kenosha attractive now? How do we improve upon that and make sure that it's there for the future? That's our challenge.
Are there other issues that you want to speak about, Bill?
Yeah, there are issues in terms of how we proceed in an orderly manner. We make sure that all people are being treated fairly and equitably. We have to make sure that our growth and our fiscal policies are going to attract people to our area. We need quality people to be a part of Kenosha in terms of the educational process, in terms of the job prospects. Those are all challenges that a growing community faces.
Thank you. And why don't you now give us a closing statement of about 1 minute about why voters should be selecting you, please.
Very well. As the current chairman of the Public Works Committee, I have one main goal or duty. It is budget, budget, and more budget. This is an example of the county budget that we go through each and every year. It's about a 2.5 or 3 inch ring binder. Public Works, my committee, includes anything that has a roof on it. That's facilities. The county roads, parks and golf. Think of in eastern Kenosha County, we have Kemper, Anderson Arts, Petrifying Springs. These all need to be maintained in a cost-efficient manner. Each season, our committee goes through this budget line by line. Did you know that Kenosha County recently has been upgraded to a AAA bond rating? That is a big deal. This illustrates that all taxpayers are getting the best value for their dollar. It is not a secret that Kenosha County is losing experienced leaders due to retirement. County executive, sheriff, police, and fire, all that leadership is changing. Sometimes change is good, but is change always good? 10 more seconds. I'll submit to you, as voters, that my experience, my consistency on the county board is a good thing. There will be no learning curve. I can and will hit the ground running to serve you, the taxpayers of Kenosha County, to the best of my ability. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And from District 5, we have with us Brian Thomas, who's running for the County Board District 5. Brian, please give us your opening remarks, sir.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to appreciate you for the opportunity to provide this forum where I can introduce myself to a few other people in District 5. Just going to give you a little background on myself and a little bit what motivated me to run. Been living in Kenosha since 1995 and in District 5 for the past 17 years. Been serving the community as a high school cross country and track coach at Christian Life School for the last 12 years and recently retired from that, and wanted to continue to serve my community and thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. And some of the key areas that are important to me, and I think probably everyone in general, would be the public safety, supporting the families not only in District 5 but in our county, and then fiscal responsibility, which translates into all kinds of other aspects. But yeah, that's just how I'd like to get things started for tonight.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, I wonder if you'd tell us a little bit about what you think are the issues that are important to the people in your district and how you would serve them, please.
Yeah, I think number one for everybody, especially based upon the riots of a couple years ago and the increase in crime last year significantly with the number of homicides up to 15 in the city of Kenosha. And my district serves only the city of Kenosha. It doesn't go beyond that. I think there's some different ways which we can address that issue. One is, I think, and I'll be a big proponent of this and I'll continue to walk the neighborhoods, is getting the different blocks within that district to be a neighborhood watch group. I think that's one easy thing we can do. I think there's ways that we can get the county sheriff and the city police to work perhaps a little bit more closely in some areas. I don't know who the new sheriff will be, but I'm sure there's going to be some concerns there, whether it's making sure we have enough sheriffs on the force, that they're properly trained, with ever the Joint Services Committee, how we can enhance the coordination between the city and the county on the policing. I think that probably needs to be enhanced somehow or another. So those are just a couple of things that we can do. I think probably a better presence in different levels at the high schools. So maybe we can avoid longer term issues. I know, like in regards to the homicides, just in talking with a number of officers, unfortunately, a lot of those are domestic related, which are hard to catch unless restraining orders are being violated. But, in the second half, I think are, what I understand, are mostly gang or drug related type of incidences, which are also unfortunate, but obviously they still need to be addressed all the same.
Let me give you another 45 seconds or so to summarize why people should vote for you and maybe what the county-wide aspect you think is important.
Sure. Well, I've been a small business owner for the last 34 years. And in order to stay in business for those last 34 years, you have to be creative and find different ways to survive recession. With last fall, I looked through it 4 times, and to be honest with you, I didn't understand everything that was in there, but the things I did understand were difficult. So I think I'll bring a more careful eye. So like the budget, for example, it's about a little over $300 million. We have 170,000 people in the county, roughly. That translates to we're spending about $1,800 per person in the county. I don't know if that's a good number or a bad number, but I think it needs to be looked at more carefully. And I think I will represent the values of our district when it comes to making decisions.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll represent and reflect sort of their spirit and their concerns. You know, I don't want
Thank
to
you very much.
Yeah, you know,
And that pretty much concludes our time.
okay.
Appreciate your sharing with us. Thank you so much. And now from District 7, we have Daniel Gashke. Mr. Dashke, would you give us your opening statement, please?
Yeah, hi, Len. Thanks so much for having me today. Glad to be here and to share some more info about me. Yeah, I've been serving on the Kenosha County Board since 2018. And so for nearly the past 4 years. And I just really love helping people. I love our community. I love Kenosha. And one of the ways to help others that I've really enjoyed is by serving in a local nonpartisan office and just helping connect my neighbors and others around with the information and the services they need to help reach their greatest potential.
I wonder if you could tell us, Mr. Gashke, what issues that might be pertinent, especially to those in District 7, that you want to represent for them on the county board?
Yeah, so as you know, the county board makes decisions that affect the entire county. So, you know, west of the I and Pleasant Prairie and north of Kenosha, Summers and whatnot. So the decisions we make affect the entire county, but obviously I want to represent the needs of my district, of my neighborhood. And so really, I think one of the keys is helping connect my neighbors, helping connect my constituents with the information that they need. To help them know what services are available, to help them know what opportunities are available. Many people are not very familiar with county government. People are more familiar with city government or maybe state or federal government, but county government is a little bit less clear to people. And yet we really provide a lot of great services that can benefit people. Things like the health department, children and family services, certain benefits. Oversee the parks department and the highway department, things like that. And even things like veteran services, helping connect veterans with services, job training for those who are looking for a new career, things along those lines. So just, I think one of the key things that I can continue doing on the board is helping connect my constituents, my neighbors, with the information that they need, with the services that would help them to be able to reach their greatest potential.
And maybe you could elucidate why your services would be better than those of your opponent in representing on the county board, Mr. Gashke. What's your competitive advantage?
As I said, I've been serving on the county board since 2018, and I have proven and experienced leadership. I think experience is important, and I've been serving for 4 years. I'm currently the chair of Planning and Development and the chair of UW Extension Education Committee. I serve on a number of other committees, including the Executive Committee, Mental Health, Alcohol, and Other Drugs, the Land and Water Conservation Committee. And I'm also actually very proud to be one of the founding commissioners on the new Racial and Ethnic Equity Commission. So I'm very involved. Even before serving in a local office, I've been very involved in my community.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And maybe now you could make a closing statement of up to a minute.
Yes. I love helping people. I love others. I love Kenosha. I grew up right here in southeastern Wisconsin, and I would love the opportunity to continue serving my community in local, independent, nonpartisan office. I have been locally involved as a small business owner, as a resident of the 7th District since 2010. I'm a husband of 18 years. I'm a father of 2 children. We've served as foster parents and we're adoptive parents. We're locally involved. I'm committed. I'm independent.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And now we have for County Board District 8, Zachary Rodriguez and Alyssa Williams. And Ms. Williams won the coin toss, and she'll make her opening statement first. Alyssa?
Hi, my name is Alyssa Williams. I'm running for County Board Supervisor of District 8. The reason I'm running is I care about our community. I want to help it. I have always lived in Kenosha. I'm raising my daughters here. I feel that I have enough time to devote to the county board. And I've always been a person who likes to help others. And I feel that this is a great way to help everyone in our community.
Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, would you like to make an opening remark?
Thank you, Len. Thanks for having me, and thank you to WGTD for hosting this event this evening. I'm running for re-election to what will be my third term on the Kenosha County Board, representing the 8th District, an area that I've grown up in. I've lived in the majority of my life, attended K-Tech, which is in the district, played sports at Lincoln, which is in the district, and then attended high school outside the district, or outside my district at least. I first ran for the county board when I was a student at Parkside, and here I am 4 years later, running for re-election. I care about this community now. I cared about it then, and I'm running on a couple core principles, those being integrity, access, and honesty. And it's something I've tried to govern the last 4 years in a way that displays those principles so that county government is not just transparent as it can be, but a county government that works for the residents of the 8th District. A lot of our residents use the services the county provides, and it's been a great pride of mine to champion these services and make sure that our residents and my constituents know that these services are available to them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to ask the first question, and Zachary, I'll let you go first. Can you tell us a specific issue or two that is important for you in representing your district on the county board, sir?
The biggest issue for me is an issue almost of a broad sense, if you will. And that's making sure that county government is as transparent, like I said, as possible and accessible. It's been my #1 goal on the county board to make sure that county government works for not just my constituents, but all of the residents here in Kenosha County. And it's something that I've sponsored numerous resolutions and ordinance changes that highlight that need for additional transparency and making a county government as accessible as possible. I feel too often so many in our community feel that local government either isn't important or isn't accessible. And that's what I've spent my 4 years on the county board, showing my constituents that it is important and it most certainly can be accessible when you have representatives that's their aim to do so, is make it accessible.
Thank you. Ms. Williams, the same question. What issue or issues in your district are you hoping to represent them on?
Sure. I would say, this being my first time, I am very interested in health and human services. I've worked in health and human services for over 17 years. I care about our mental health services, especially. I also care quite a bit about I care about people, but it's the veterans also. My father was a veteran. I do care about the veterans quite a bit and want to see things working for them also.
Thank you. Now, I'd like to ask a broader question of each of you, and we'll ask Alyssa to start on this one. Tell me, what broad issue before the county do you think is the most important for the county board to be addressing next?
I do not know all of the issues that are in front of the county board, so I have to reel back and go into, my main cause for the county board would be making sure the mentally ill are taken care of as they need to be. And there's a lot of different ways of doing that.
Would you like to talk about any of them in particular?
Making sure that they have the resources that they need to be gaining their medications, their homes, their living establishments, their work within the community, and trying to help them continue to work in the community. I do know that that is a very difficult thing for them to maintain, and just wanting to make sure that all things are working for them.
Thank you. Now, the next question I'm going to ask Zachary. You want to respond as well?
Yeah. So I think that there's county government's always facing a multitude of issues. And to each supervisor, including myself, and to each of our constituents, somebody might have what they think is the most pressing issue. But I think the two issues in a broad sense that need to be addressed are safety and mental health services, as well as our financial standing here in the county. And I'll just go in that order. And so to highlight some of the mental health challenges that we have and the safety challenges that we have in Kenosha County, we obviously have a very hard-hitting opioid problem here in Kenosha County. It's almost daily we read about the unfortunate circumstances that result opioid use and addiction. And I just want to highlight some of the programs that we have currently at the county level that assist in that regard. I voted, and we now have 5 more beds for mental health services here in Kenosha County. We have a Vivitrol program here in Kenosha County that's very successful. That works almost coinciding together with drug treatment court to get these people, instead of just sending them to prison and forgetting about them, getting them the services that they need so that they can beat the disease that is addiction. Alongside that, we have Veterans Court, same thing, keep veterans outside of prison, get them the resources that they need so that they can beat whatever obstacles are in their way, whether it be addiction, poverty, homelessness. Often those circumstances lead people to end up in the court system through some conduit. They've taken whatever means necessary to support themselves, and sometimes that means they end up in the court system. We now partner with an organization out of Lake County to bring mental health services closer to Kenosha County instead of, as we previously did, and we still do, but instead of sending everybody up to Winnebago and Oshkosh, now we send some folks down to Waukegan, where they can get those services much closer to home, where they have the support of their family and friends right across the border. A half hour for some versus 3-4 hours for others.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I wonder now if we might ask you each to make a brief closing statement of why you expect that people should vote for you as the best candidate of the two for District 8 of the County Board. And I'll ask Zachary Rodriguez to go first.
Thank you. First off, I want to say thank you to my constituents. They've trusted me to be their voice on the county board for the previous 4 years, and I'm asking that they place that trust in me again for another 2 years. We've accomplished so much since I was first elected in 2018 and again in 2020. However, our work is so far from over and we have so much yet to do. Like I said, you've trusted me to be your voice. I'm asking you to place that trust in me again. I've worked to do and take on so many. We put body cameras on our sheriff's deputies. That was something that I sponsored before the events of the summer of 2020, before it was politically convenient to do. That was my legislation that put that forward. We kept violent sex predators out of the neighborhood, made sure that homeowners and parents are aware when these violent folks are getting put in their neighborhood before they're put in their neighborhood. And we kept our parks accessible. So many people love our parks. The administration wanted to raise these 200% park entry fees. We defeated that, and it was something that I championed, and we said absolutely not. We want to make Kenosha County and every facet of local government work for the constituents of the 8th district.
Thank you.
Put that trust in me for 2 terms. I'm asking for another 2 terms.
Thank you very much. Ms. Alyssa Williams, your concluding remarks, please.
Yes, thank you. I'm running for county board because, as I say, I've lived in Kenosha my entire life. I feel that I have the time to devote to the county board. I care about the community. I've always worked for a nonprofit in the area. I have, as I say, over 17 years working with persons with disabilities. And I think I have an open mind to working across lines and with others. And I just would like a shot at it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that concludes our forum for District 8. For District 9 of the County Board, we have with us candidate John O'Day. Mr. O'Day, could we have your 1-minute opening statement, please?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm currently chairman of the Kenosha County Board. I've been on the county board since 1996. I'm also past chairman of the Human Services Board, the Finance Committee, the Human Services Committee. I'm currently a member of the Kenosha County Health Department Board, Brookside Board of Trustees, Southeastern Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission, and I do have some endorsements for South Shore Realtor Association, AFL-CIO, UAW, and I did not ask for these. They came to me, and I appreciate them very much because I feel like the best endorsement is from the voters. So I really don't have any special interest groups. It's a nonpartisan election, and that's really the gist of my opening statement.
Thank you very much. Mr. O'Day, could you tell us what issues affecting District 9 that you think are important to lift up to the county board for some kind of action or investigation?
Well, I'm in a city district, so really there's nothing on the county agenda that affects me or my constituents directly, other than some of the highway issues leading in and out of the city of Kenosha. We always try to keep up on a rotation on 15 to 17 miles of county highways, which when I leave Kenosha City, I have to drive on Kenosha County highways. So we want to make sure that they're always up to snuff. And we have 34 buildings. We also have them on a regimen of replacement, whether it's roofs or HVAC or anything. From a maintenance standpoint, they're all categorized and given scores. Every year we look to do that, and that's where some of the bonding comes in. So our buildings are all over the county. We have a lot of them downtown that we have to maintain, and we did, a few years back, we did our administrative building and we did the courthouse. Those were the two major issues that we had a bond for. The hardest thing we did was finally getting a AAA rating. We've been fighting for that ever since I've been on the board. And with the rating agencies, it's tough to get to that point. But with our ability to keep under the inflation and have reserves has helped us to get to this AAA rating, which now we have. And I don't want to lose that going forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We've got about a minute left. I wonder if you'd like to give us a closing statement of encouraging the voters to vote for you as opposed to someone else, sir.
Well, I've had a lifetime of service, I feel. I was in the Army from 63 to 66. I'm two-time past president of the Kenosha Realtor Association. I do volunteer work for women and children, Shalom Center, Blood Center, past director of the Kenosha Library Board. I've been a past member of the Library Friends of the Library. I've been very active in all the community, any agency. And this past year or two, I donated $200 of my chairman's salary to each supervisor's charity of choice. And I just announced at the last meeting, my final $200 donation is going to the Twin Lakes Food Shelter. And that completed 23 donations locally in Kenosha County, which I felt was a thing that we should do, is keep Kenosha County going in the direction that it's going. It's positive, and we got to keep it that way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate your service. And now for County Board, District 11, we have with us Guida Brown and Zach Stock. Guida Brown won the coin toss, and she will begin with her opening statement of 1 minute.
Len, thank you and WGTD for this opportunity. I'm Guida Brown, a lifelong Kenoshan. In fact, I've spent the entirety of my career working in nonprofit services, and I've lived in the same house my entire life. So you can probably get some idea of how much I love my community. I earned my undergraduate degree from Marquette University in journalism and my master's degree in management from Cardinal Stritch. I'm running for County Board Supervisor for District 11, and I'm the most qualified person for the position. I'm a true nonpartisan who wants Kenosha to be the best place to live, work, and raise a family. And I have the skills to help bring that to fruition. In my nonprofit experience, I've had the opportunity to run my own microcosm of a governance with all the accomplishments and all the challenges that encompasses. I've been quite successful at working with people to come to consensus, and I look forward to doing that on the county board.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Stock, your opening statement, please.
All right. Hello. Well, my name is Zach Stock. At the age of 14, I went door to door in our neighborhood asking you to hire me to mow lawns, pull weeds, and complete a variety of other services. 15 years later, we are now a top-rated, award-winning company that serves hundreds of households in our county. Over the years, we have built many wonderful relationships with the people in our community, and I have grown to love the area we all call home. That is what brings me here today. Our county has been through a lot over the last 2 years, and it was through this time that I learned the importance and impact that local government has on our lives. After redistricting was completed and the new map for District 11 contained the area where I both grew up and now live, I knew the time was right to take an opportunity to represent my neighborhood in our county government. By using the professional skills I have learned and the many relationships we have built, it is my hope by serving as your county board supervisor, I can give back to the community that gave me my start and help move our county forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to ask each of you this question, and I'll ask Mr. Stock to start. What issues are there within District 11 that you think are important to bring before the county board and you are going to represent your district about? Mr. Stock.
Sure. District 11 is unique in that we don't have a lot of county services directly within the borders of our district. We don't have any county highways. A lot of the services that the county board oversees don't necessarily cross directly through the district, but we all use county highways to get to and from our homes. I personally enjoy using, our county dog parks with my rescue dog that I have. We frequent those all the time, Pets Park. So Kenosha has so many great assets that are overseen by the county board that is very important that we are all, taking care of, paying attention to, and making sure that those services are there for the entire county, the entire community. So, the county board's a little bit different from aldermen where, in this district, we're not going to have, we don't oversee the streets and stuff, but there's so many services that the county board oversees that we all use, in our daily lives. That's very important that we're making sure those are there for everybody.
Thank you. Ms. Brown, your response to the same question.
Yep, I would concur. I think the other piece is that the county is the safety net for the community. So there are also a lot of human services. And we know that the human service budget is the most expensive in the county budget. That's for everybody. That's, making sure that we have the Division of Health and human services as a whole, child and family services, making sure that people who have needs with mental health and substance use disorders have those needs met. So again, and he's right, Zach's right, the parks are wonderful, the trails are wonderful, and that's for everybody. We don't have a lot of business either here in our district. And so that's another sort of, we're not worried about bringing in a factory or we have a lot of residents.
Thank you. Now, I wonder if you would talk a little broader about issues facing the county and what your positions are on those issues, how you would work for the benefit of the county as a whole. Ms. Brown.
So given my experience in the nonprofit world, again, we know that the human service budget is the biggest budget, that's the biggest piece of the budget that the county is dealing with. And so I think that that's it. We have a very robust Division of Health. We have a great Division of Human Services, Child and Family Services. And I think it's important to make sure that those needs of our community are being met through that budgeting process. The issues, we have to worry about mental health. We have to worry about substance use disorders. We have to worry about people getting jobs and making sure that people have the opportunity to stay in Kenosha. We have great secondary education. We have so many opportunities. How do we keep those students who are then educated in our schools to stay in our community and give back to the community and, build it up. I think we all want the same thing, right? We all want a good, safe place to live and raise our families. And that's what the county board has to be responsible for. And making sure that those ancillary services are also available so that when somebody thinks they want to move to this community or wants to stay in this community, that they're going to, that those are good choices that they can make.
Just your response to the same question, what broader issues before the county are you thinking are important and want to represent the district on?
Sure. A few of the things that I have put out there that I do want to focus on as a county board supervisor are safe communities, a strong economy, and smart spending. Obviously, public safety came to a forefront last couple years with everything that happened, and part of the job of the county board supervisor is making sure that our sheriff's department has the resources that they need to protect the citizens in our community. So that's something that I just want to make sure that I'm focused on, making sure that public safety is fully funded for whatever needs that they have, just to keep our communities safe. As far as the strong economy goes, I am a small business owner. I am proud to be a debt-free business owner, and that being said, I'm very focused and very careful on how I spend money, and I want to make sure I'm treating the taxpayers' money with the exact same level of detail. Everybody pays a county tax, no matter if you live in the city or the county. So we're all paying taxes. I want to make sure that, every dollar that we spend is bringing value to the county, and that we're cutting, spending in unnecessary things, while making sure that we're fully funding the services that are needed for our county. And then to the point of the businesses, yes, there are no large businesses in our district, but our District 11 actually has 75 small businesses, over 75 small businesses in our district, and small business is very important to our local economy. And I want to make sure that, as a county board supervisor, I'm bringing that perspective to the decisions that are made, and making sure that our small businesses are taken care of, and their interests are being met as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now I'll ask for closing statements of 1 minute from each of you. And we'll go in reverse order. Mr. Stock, your closing 1 minute statement, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I just would like to thank you again for the opportunity to be here today. Guida, thank you for coming as well. And I didn't have anything formally prepared, but I would just like to just let everybody know you can always get in touch with me through my website. I'm more than happy. We've been out canvassing, talking to the neighborhood. It's been really great, knocking on doors again and meeting new people. And I just want to let everybody know that, this is a nonpartisan race, and it's very important that, I'm committed to listening to whatever your input is. As a county board supervisor, I intend to listen to the input of the constituents and make informed decisions on behalf of our neighborhood, so that we can all move forward, moving our county forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And your closing statement, please, Ms. Brown.
Len, thank you again for the opportunity, and thanks to you too, Zach, for participating. Again, my name is Guida Brown, and I would like to reiterate that given my education, my skills, and just the years and years of experience working for nonprofits, I'm the best person to elect for Kenosha County Board Supervisor in District 11. I have no allegiance to either political party, allowing me to make decisions based on what constituents need and want, rather than to appease party members and leadership. I care about Kenosha, as is evidenced by how I've spent my time serving the community, and my record shows that I can work with people from all walks of life to meet the county's goals. I look forward to using my skills as a county board supervisor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now from County Board District 13, we have John Franco. Mr. Franco, would you like to give us an opening statement of about a minute, please, sir?
Yes, thank you, Len. First of all, I'd like to thank Len Iaquinta and WGTD for hosting this event this evening. Kenosha County has made great strides in the past few years, making it a wonderful place to work, live, and play. Under the steady leadership of County Executive Jim Cruiser and the amazing work of dedicated county employees, quality of life continues to improve for all Kenosha County residents. Because of the rapid increase of industrial development, job growth in Kenosha County has continued at a fevered pace. This has led to increased demand for homes, resulting in higher property values. Meanwhile, the fiscal health of our county government is stronger than ever. Kenosha County's bond rating has been upgraded to AAA, which means that the county is saving the taxpayer money for capital improvement projects. I have been a part of this success for the past 6 years by serving on the Public Works and Finance and Administration committees. It has been my honor to serve, and I plan to continue bringing a principled and pragmatic voice that will represent the interests of all who live in District 13.
Thank you, Mr. Franco. Now, I wonder if you could tell us, is there an issue or two that representing your district is important to consider? What about District 13? What's important to your district that you're representing?
Well, thanks for the question, Len. When I think of our district, which is on the either side of the I, as you know, there's been an enormous amount of industrial development that has taken place. We have created quite a few jobs in our area, and manufacturing is coming in. And the one issue that I see in particular is this is a good thing as we develop more manufacturing and jobs. But one of the downsides, at least at this time, is that many of these jobs have gone unfilled. In fact, some of them have been filled by Illinoisans coming over the border. Some have been filled by people who live in Racine or Milwaukee County. I think one of the things that we need to make sure is that more of these jobs are filled by Kenosha County residents. I mean, we have 3 great colleges in our county. We have Parkside, we have Carthage, and we have Gateway. And many of these jobs are mid-level tech and STEM type of jobs that, are good paying jobs. And I'd like to see not just people working in Kenosha County, but I'd like to see some of our college graduates incentivized to get jobs in Kenosha County, buy homes in Kenosha County, raise families in Kenosha County. I think that's a really important issue. The other thing that I think is somewhat related is the dearth of homes in our area. The one good side, I suppose, is property values are going up, like I suggested in my opening statement, but you're also noticing condos and apartment complexes being developed in and near our in District 13 because of the need of affordable housing. So those are, I think, 2 really important issues in regard to District 13.
I wonder if you could close by just summarizing why people should vote for you instead of your opponent.
Well, first of all, I think I think of my educational experience, my education and what I did. I was a teacher for 30 years. I taught history and in particular AP government. I understand government and all its complexities. And so I bring that to the table. I also, I taught economics too, and being on the finance committee, that's a big help because I understand budgets. I also have served on the board for 6 years, and so I have a lot of relevant experience, and I hope that I can serve another term. When it comes to my temperament, I'm pragmatic. I'm willing to work with anyone, and like I said, I think I'm a good fit for this position. I bring a lot to the table. I have a lot of experience, and so I humbly ask for another term.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Franco. Thank you very much. And now we're going to listen to the County Board District 14 candidate, Boyd Frederick. Mr. Frederick, may we have your opening remarks, please?
Certainly. I have been a county supervisor now for 6 terms. Presently, I am head of judiciary and law, which works with the sheriff's department, the courts, and the DA's office as well, which takes up approximately 2/3 of the levy. Besides being a part of that, I am also vice chair of the legislative committee, and I serve with the county on their library board, the human services board, and on the ADRC board. ADRC board means a lot to me because I'm a spouse of someone who's handicapped. And I'm wishing to serve with one more term on the county board.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Frederick. Now, Boyd, I wonder if you could tell us what issues, if any, in District 14 are you feel are important to represent to the board and to represent your district? What are the issues of importance in your district, do you think?
Well, being in the city, most of the time I have to go to the alderman and say, this is what the issue is. However, public safety is the biggest issue right now we have in the county, is because we are trying to recruit sheriff's deputies and jailers because we are competing against every other municipality when it comes to these individuals. And there's been billboards out there. They've been going to job fairs, anything the county can do to get individuals to bring into these positions.
I gather it's been very difficult.
It's been quite difficult because our sheriff's deputy contract ends this coming year. And right now we're not even close to being the highest paid in the area. And when you're going again, and police science is not as popular as it once was, we're going against the city of Kenosha, Racine County, even Lake County, and Lake County pays much more than what Kenosha County does.
What other issues do you think are important that you want to be representing of for your district and for county-wide, sir?
Well, number one, increase when we do roads. I just got done with a 10-year working with FEMA when it comes to getting 60th Street expanded west of Indian Trails. And right as soon as that is done, that area is going to turn into an industrial park where the old AMC lot used to be. So right now we're going to be bringing jobs into the community, into this district by doing simple things of expanding a road.
That sounds very exciting. Now, I wonder if you'd like to wind up by telling the voters why they ought to be selecting you instead of your opponent, Mr. Frederick.
I have the experience. I've been involved in public service ever since I was in college. Before I even was on the county board, I served on the legislative committee for the city and the traffic safety commission for the county. To me, this job is all about helping out individuals when they need it. It doesn't matter if they're in my district or not. I still try to help out people. And now serving with judiciary and law and serving on legislative, I have got a complete look at what county's problems are going to be. And I would wish to stay on the board to help the staff and administration solve them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And that concludes Mr. Frederick's presentation with respect to his candidacy in District 14. And now we turn to District 16 of the County Board, and we'll hear first from Laverne Charos. Laverne, could you please give us your opening statement?
Well, I retired 2 years ago after 31 years as Director of Kenosha County's Division of Aging and Disability Services. So I have years of experience in county budgeting, interacting with state and local government, building community partnerships, and developing innovative evidence-based strategies to address community needs. I'm running for the county board to contribute this experience, insight, and energy toward the challenges that we still face, issues like worker shortages, drug addiction, access to mental health treatment, and other issues. As a county board supervisor, I will listen to constituents, weigh facts, analyze costs, encourage collaboration and partnerships, and make thoughtful decisions.
Thank you very much. I wonder if you could tell us what issue or issues are important to you in terms of representing District 16 on the county board.
There are several issues that I'm particularly passionate about. One is access to mental health treatment and prevention. We have a shortage of mental health providers in the area. People are waiting for months for appointments in some cases, and have reported difficulty in accessing mental health treatment. We have certainly concern about addiction and the both the criminal and family impact that that addiction has had in this area. I'm also very passionate about worker shortages and recruitment and retention of workers. My focus in the past has been on long-term care, but certainly that concern is much broader now as employers are looking for workers and unable to find them. I think that we can look for some of the barriers to employment for individuals, things like transportation, and see if we can improve the recruitment and retention of workers.
Is there another issue that's important that you think needs work by the county board in the coming couple of years?
Oh, there are several. Certainly, I'm interested in the work of the racial and ethnic equity work group, and am anxious to see what their findings and recommendations will be, so that we can ensure a more inclusive work environment. There's also the concern about sustainable development. I think we have very good planning departments, both in the county and in Pleasant Prairie, and I think they've worked hard to balance development and the growth in the area with environmental concerns and with residents' rights.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wonder if we could conclude by summarizing why the voters of District 16 should be voting for you. What are your unique skills and capacities that you bring to the work?
Well, certainly my experience is one, and proven leadership. I encourage voters to check out my website to see more about my positions at jarisforcountyboard.com. But people should know that this election is not just about issues, but it's also about leadership style. Mine is based on a record of collaboration, partnership building, innovation, accountability, and respect. And that's what I will continue to bring to the residents if elected.
Thank you very much, Laverne Jaros from the 16th District. And now for the County Board, District 16, we hear from candidate Amanda Nedweski. Ms. Nedweski, let me have your opening statement, please.
Well, hello there. I am Amanda Nedweski, running here in District 16 for County Board Supervisor. And most people usually start by asking me, why did I decide to run? So I will start out with a little story saying that, as you mentioned earlier before we started the interview, my grandfather, Peter Nedweski, was an alderman and city council president in the 60s and 70s here in Kenosha. And actually, Nedweski Park at 17th Avenue and 45th Street is named in his honor, which is where my father's family grew up and my family grew up. So the community struggles of the past 2 years had me really thinking of the stories that my dad would tell us about my grandpa's really strong relationship with the neighbors in his district. And I was really, in part, inspired by these stories to run for office in my own district. So I feel very much like the Kenosha area has given me so much, and I wanted to be a part of the solution and give back to the community in the best way that I know how, using the skills that I have. So I want to do what my grandpa did, and I want to knock on doors, meet people, listen to their concerns, and give them a representative voice in decision-making bodies of government that most directly affect them right in their backyard. First and foremost, local government affects us the first and foremost.
Thank you.
I have the time, I have the will, and I have the skills.
Ms. Nedweski, could you tell us what issues with respect to this district you think are important to represent to the county board?
Well, I can tell you I've been to over 1,500 doors since early December, and the collective top 3 issues for District 16 are public safety, fiscal accountability and transparency in government, and really helping people in times of crisis, particularly post-pandemic issues that are still kind of working their way, through the community and trying to find resolutions for whether it's pandemic related or pandemic policy related fallout that maybe was unintentional. So we still have people who are looking for work or trying to maybe even change careers because of safety issues. We still have people who have concerns about, health exposure. And, primarily we have people in District 16 who overwhelmingly are concerned about public safety. They are feeling the crime creep from Illinois coming over the border because we're right here on the state line. And there's a lot of traffic issues. There's been a lot of high-speed chases increase in the last 2 years. And we want to make sure, as a county board works in partnership with the Sheriff's Department, I am a strong advocate for law enforcement. I want to ensure that the Sheriff's Department has the fiscal resources, human resources, equipment, training that they need to help not only keep my district safe, but the entire county, and also to be able to partner with other law enforcement districts throughout the county, law enforcement agencies like Pleasant Prairie Police, Kenosha Police, et cetera. So our residents are very concerned about public safety, and they're also concerned about where their tax dollar is going. And my background in finance and business is really applicable to
Thank you.
that.
Thank you. I wonder if you'd like to make now a closing remarks for our listeners and viewers.
Well, I chose to run for County Board Supervisor because my extensive business and finance background can really be leveraged to improve and ensure that fiscal accountability in county government can be reached. For many years, I worked primarily in corporate finance under the umbrella of the CFO in a publicly held global manufacturing company. And in my role, I was responsible for coordinating worldwide budgets and forecasts for over 10,000 cost centers. So this work included frequent travel to Europe, where the company's majority shareholder was headquartered in Northern Italy. And long before Zoom and Google Meet, I was doing web trainings for people around the world. So my responsibilities as a business intelligence consultant are strongly transferable and applicable to the role on the county board that I'm seeking. And I just want to serve my community that I love and do what I can to give back.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. And now for County Board District 17, we have with us Brooks T. Litz. Mr. Litz, could we have your opening remarks, please?
Yes, hi, my name is Brooks Litz. I'm running for County Board Supervisor of District 17. I was asked to run for this position by several community members over concerns of our county board. What I do bring to the table is I was a frontline first responder for over 17 and a half years, so I have a unique perspective of government and what their jobs are to do and what leadership is. While I was on the fire department, I worked on multiple committees, training, MAVIS, which is the mutual aid box system alarms, head of the CPR first aid program or BLS program. I also worked on a fire department that had an extremely tight budget and was constantly being asked to reduce staffing or budget. And we always worked a way to reduce the budget to keep our staffing and our level of service up. I was also the VP of our fundraising group that gave to charities such as NADS, MDA, Angels for Autism, and the Bobby Guerin Scholarship Foundation, which gives scholarship to firefighters' kids in Lake County and in Kenosha County.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Mr. Litz, could you tell us what are some of the issues that you think are important that District 17 is concerned about that you want to lift up and have solved or discussed at the county board? Mr. Litz, go ahead.
Well, over the past 3 weeks, I've knocked on probably over 1,000 of our citizens' doors in our district, and more importantly, what their concerns are than my concerns. Their concerns are our public safety, our roads, and our taxes. With public safety, I was a frontline responder. I know I've worked with police, public works, health departments, everyone that contributes to our public safety, and I've worked closely with them to resolve issues. I want to make sure that many times we saw money going to bureaucrats or politicians and not to our frontline workers that are actually protecting our community. I want to make sure that it's going to the people that need it and support our community the most. As far as roads, I would like to see us look into other alternatives than what we're seeing now with the patchwork and constantly having to dig it up, redo it. It seems like every year our county roads are under construction and multiple times a year patchwork's being done. I would rather look into the more updated technology that can withstand our harsh winters and summers, and it might cost a little bit in the long run, in the beginning, but in the long run, it will save us money. I'd rather look into things like that.
Thank you.
And as far as, sorry.
Thank you very much. I wonder if you want to conclude with a minute statement of why your constituents should vote for you instead of for your opponent.
Well, I want them to vote for me because I was one of the people protecting the community. Maybe not Pleasant Prairie, but I was called up here a lot to protect the community. I've seen what goes on with poor leadership. We've seen it with our riots. We've seen it during COVID. And someone needs to step up and ask the tough questions instead of going along with what the majority wants to do. I'm one that's always spoken my mind and spoken up for the little guy. And done what's best for the community instead of being someone that just goes around getting photo ops and making public appearances. I actually want to work with the community to make it better.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. You have a great day.
And now we have the forum for the candidates for District 19 of County Board, Ryan Bashaw and Larry Zamba. Larry Zamba won the toss. Mr. Zamba, please give us your opening 1-minute statement.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to this program, and thank you, Len, for putting this together. Why am I running for the county board? Well, I think it's because I care. I like to see things improve out here. And life is pretty good for many people out here, but there are areas that I believe need addressed. But I look at this as the opportunity to be nonpartisan. I'm not endorsed by either major party. I'm just doing it because I think it's the right thing to do. And having been a resident of Brighton for 22 years and a resident of Kenosha County for 52 years, I kind of got a handle on what's going on out here. And I'd like to bring my abilities and my even-tempered demeanor to help the people of the county.
Thank you very much. And now, Mr. Bashaw, your opening remarks, please.
Well, first of all, thank you, Len, for inviting me and giving us this opportunity to get together this evening and share a little bit about ourselves. And thank you to WGTD and your listeners for having the opportunity to speak with them as well, and to the residents of Kenosha County, specifically District 19. This is a great opportunity to talk about who I am, who I've been, where I'm going in the future, and what I believe things should look like. I'm a person of integrity. I've worked in my entire life to make sure that I preserve my integrity, act responsibly, and do the right things for the right reasons. Sometimes the right things are not always easy, but they're the things that you need to do. That's why I'm getting involved into this race at this time. There's a lot of things happening in our nation that are impacting us locally. A lot of things happening in partisan politics up in DC that are impacting us locally. The vitriol, the divisiveness, personally, I believe it needs to end. I think we have to be able to work together. And if we can't work together, that's on us.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Now, my first question for you, gentlemen, is what are the issues that you think need to be represented and solved by the county board that you want to lift up from District 19? Mr. Bashaw, I'll have you go first.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Len. Three primary things on the top of my list. One is broadband, which you already heard from me this evening. We had a little bit of difficulty because my computer can't connect because we don't have enough bandwidth out here into the county. So that is one issue that has been on the docket many times, and it has for some reason failed. Now the state has poured some money in, and hopefully we can press this project forward, press it forward quickly and get things taken care of. The second is safety. In meeting people in the area today, specifically today, 2 different houses. One person came back because there was a camera that showed me putting a piece of literature at their door, and they came rushing back because their neighbor had just been broken into recently, and they're worried about somebody breaking into their home. Crime is coming to the western suburb, western portion of the county. We need to do something about that. That means we need to increase policing. We need to help them to do more. And the third thing really comes down to fiscal accountability. We're tightening our belt at home. The county needs to continue to tighten its belt. Spend responsibly, not on pet projects, not on things that are perhaps not sustainable or temporary by nature, but make sure that we're fiscally accountable. And the last area that I really want to touch for a moment, Lynn, is growth. We're growing in the west part of the county. We're growing in the entire county. And the more our east-west corridors are taken care of, like Highway 50, like S and 142, the more growth is going to create pressure for us. We can't allow that growth to get out of control. So those are 4 areas that I think are very, very important to our future and where we're going as a community and where we're going as District 19.
Thank you.
Last, if I
go ahead.
I'm watching my clock as well. I have another second. The last thing that we happen to see too often is a lot of emphasis east of the I. Out here in west of the I, we're not to be forgotten. I believe that we need a strong voice, somebody that will stand up for our community in District 19 and fight for those services that we need out here as well. So thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Mr. Zamba, the same question, sir.
Well, generally speaking, I would agree with Brian on these issues. I mean, they're self-evident as I speak to people throughout the district and through my own personal experience. Broadband is a major issue. Now there's 3.5 million that's been carried forward from Biden's Build Back Better program that got sent to the state. And the town boards in Paris and Brighton and so forth are, shepherding these programs forward. There are 918 people that are supposed to be serviced. We shall see how that goes. But I want to work hand in glove with the township chairmen or the people on the various committees to make sure it happens. The second issue, it would be under safety. Well, I've been endorsed by the most powerful man in the county, Sheriff David Beth, and he feels that, I've got what it takes. I have a good understanding of the police department, of the sheriff's department. And as to crime coming out west, it's already here. And it isn't necessarily coming from east or the south or whatever. It's been here for as long as I can remember. It's homegrown. Part of it is related to poverty. I don't know if you know this, but District 20 and 19 comprise 200 square miles of territory. Very difficult to do doors in that big of an area, as I'm sure Brian can attest to. But it's half of those people in Kenosha, well, in our districts, live in poverty. It's 50% of the people live paycheck to paycheck. 3,200 kids are living in poverty. They rely on places like the Sharing Center in Trevor to get food, to get basics. Sometimes
Thank you very much.
poverty drives crime, but there are other aspects to it too.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Zamba. And now I'm going to ask you each make a closing comments of up to a minute each, and to maybe differentiate yourselves as much as you would like. And we are going to go in reverse order from the opening statements. So Mr. Bashaw, you will go first, and Mr. Zamba will conclude.
Well, thank you, Len. Thank you, everybody. A couple quick points. I am a conservative by nature. I believe in being accountable, being fiscally secure, taking care of our home taking care of our environment, taking care of our neighbors, and doing the right thing for the right reason. I know I just heard from Mr. Zamba that he is not endorsed. I don't believe that's accurate, Larry. I saw your endorsement on the Democrat Party Ocean County website. So I believe very much in integrity, honesty, telling things as they are. I also believe in taking personal accountability. I do have strong beliefs, but I also like to hear from others what their beliefs are. I will stand up for principles and I will do what's right. And I will defend the people of District 19 to make sure that we get what we need out here to keep our lives moving forward and to protect the environment that we live in. I appreciate our rural environment and the citizens of District 19, and I look forward to your vote. Please vote for me on April 5th.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And Mr. Zamba, you have the floor to close.
As far as the endorsement from the Democratic Party, actually, I forgot about it because you don't see it on my website. You don't see it on my Facebook page. To me, this is nonpartisan. They can endorse anybody they want. I never got a questionnaire or anything from the Republican Party because I wasn't their guy that was shoehorned in. So anyways, I believe in just being nice to people. You will never find me up on YouTube complaining at county board meetings. I want to work with people. I write letters to the Kenosha News. I believe in being accountable, but I don't like to bring in national politics to a local level interactions. Yes, I see the conduit from federal money coming in, but I'm not about turning this into the Democrat Party as it was put, or the Republican Party or anything like that. I'm just going to be out there making friends on both sides of the aisle. And that's why I would hope you would vote for me. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Zamba. And that concludes our forum for District 19. And now for District 20 of the County Board, we have with us Dr. Steve Brown. Mr. Brown.
Thank you very much. Hello, I am Steve Brown, and I've lived here in Salem for 19 years. And during that time, I served on the Salem School Board in 2003 and 2004 as an appointed member. Right now, I'm in my second 3-year term as a member, and I'm currently the clerk of the Salem School Board. I'm running for a third 3-year term, and I'm running unopposed for this upcoming April 5th election. My constituents know that I am someone who takes my responsibilities seriously. I'm a U.S. Army military veteran with 6 years of service, and I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm running for the Kenosha County Board to make sure that my constituents have here in Western Kenosha County that they are smartly represented. The 4 areas of focus in my campaign are a strong and smart support of services for our veterans and our senior citizens, and hopefully I can talk more about that. Also, strong support for the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. They provide all the law enforcement for the villages of Salem Lakes and Paddock Lake. And finally, I want to make sure that our roads and highways are properly maintained and funded, and all of those areas are funded through the county budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Brown. I'd like to ask you to go further and maybe a little bit deeper into the issues that you want to represent to the county board for District 20, and maybe other countywide issues that you think are important.
Sure. One of the first things I want to talk about, and I relate this to the fact that I'm a military veteran. I had the chance a few weeks ago to meet with Ali Nelson, who's director of services for veterans in Kenosha County, and we had a very long discussion. I have a whole list of things here that he and I talked about. One of the things that was very interesting to me was the fact that transportation to VA hospitals has become an issue. The VA hospital, both in Great Lakes in Northern Illinois and Lake County, and also the VA hospital in Milwaukee. So I think that's very important. Also, seniors. I'm a very strong supporter of seniors in terms of their centers. The Willowbrook Center and Brookside, I strongly support both of those. I think those are important issues. And also what I've talked about many times, and I have it on my website, so it's not a secret, and that is that my opponent, John Poole, over the 6 years he was on the board, voted against the entire budget for everything 5 out of the 6 years. And I think that was a mistake because you're voting against seniors, veterans, you're voting against the county sheriff's department, roads, and everything else. So those are the issues that I've been talking about, Len, during the campaign.
And Dr. Brown, may I have your closing remarks, please?
Sure, of course. In closing, the voters in District 20 have an important decision to make on April 5th. They could vote for John Poole, who consistently voted against our veterans, our senior citizens, the Kenosha County Sheriff's Department, necessary equipment like Kevlar protective vests, and he voted against maintaining and upgrading our county roads and highways. Or you can vote for me, Steve Brown. I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm someone who understands budgets and making sure to study the budgets, attend all important meetings, ask questions, ask smart questions, and most of all, making sure that the needs of those of us in Western Kenosha County are met. I will not be part of a group that dictates how I will vote. Rather, instead, I will make smart decisions based on the facts. I will then verify those facts and make my decisions smartly on genuine and real information. I'm Steve Brown, and you better believe that I will smartly represent all of the voters who live in District 20 if elected. Thank you so much.
And that concludes our forum for District 20. And now for County Board District 23, we have Kim Lewis. Mr. Lewis, please give us your opening statement.
Thank you, Len. I am Kim Lewis. I'm a longtime resident of Twin Lakes, and I moved here in 1984. I've been actively involved in the community and government since coming to Twin Lakes, and I'm currently the county supervisor for District 23. I'm a lawyer, and I've practiced law with my wife, Roberta, for 35 years. We have clients in both Wisconsin and Illinois. We need reasonable and rational people in government to make it work efficiently for all of us. I'm one of those. I work well with other people in achieving what is necessary and desirable for all of us in what should be a fair and civilized society. Fair and efficient use of tax dollars is one of the key functions of a county supervisor. This has helped Kenosha County achieve a AAA bond rating, and I will work to sustain that. I also will work to provide resources necessary for county employees to do the work and maintain the services we expect in making Kenosha County a desirable place to live, work, and raise families.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now, I wonder if you would go into a little more detail, please, on the issues facing District 23 that you think are important to lift up to the county board, and any other issues you'd like to talk about with respect to the county board's purview.
Well, I've been on the county board for about a year now. I was appointed to take the balance of Lon Winke's term when he passed away. And so one of the first things I did is found the guy who was in charge of the county roads, William Grady, and told him we need East Lakeshore Drive rebuilt and widened to make it safer for bikers and pedestrians. That's in the works. That should be done either this fall or next year. The west end of the county tends to get the short end of the stick, at least the perception is, when it comes to tax dollars. And so I'm working to bring more equitable, a more equitable share of tax dollars to the west end of the county. One of the things I'm working on right now is studying the feasibility of an assisted living facility that would be situated in Twin Lakes in what was the old nursing home. And so that's one of the things. Road maintenance, stripes on the road so we can see where we're going at night. That's helpful too. Providing resources to the police department in the form of training and social work to de-escalate situations is another issue.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Now, I wonder if you would like to go into a little more detail about some of the other issues in the county that you think are important, that are ripe for resolution during what would be your next term.
Well, one of the things the board has been working on is the establishment of a mental health facility in Kenosha. over the last couple of years with the pandemic and the opioid crisis ongoing, mental health issues have become more acute. And it affects all of us. It affects the sheriff's department when they're dealing with people. When we have people who are in distress and need to be placed somewhere, we have to transport them to Mendota or I forget the other name of the place, or even Lake County. We're working with to provide support for some of these people.
Thank you.
That
Thank you for
costs a lot of
raising
money.
that really important issue for us.
I'm
And
sorry?
I appreciate you raising that important issue. And now we are running out of time. I'm going to ask you to give a 1-minute closing statement. You might want to distinguish yourself from your opponent. Go ahead.
Well, I think we need people in government who want to make it work. There's, and I'm not saying this necessarily about my opponent, but there are people in government at all levels that seem to want to take a sledgehammer to it and make sure it doesn't work. That's not, in my opinion, what we should be doing. We need to provide the services in an efficient manner, a wise use of our tax dollars, and make things better for folks.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate your time. And we will also now hear from your other contestant in the race, Aaron Carroll. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And now from District 23, we have candidate Aaron Carroll. Mr. Carroll, could I have your opening statement, please?
Yes, Len, thank you. My name is Aaron Carroll. I'm a lifelong resident of Twin Lakes and Randall areas. I've grown up in the area with a family construction business, and I ran for village a trustee in 2005. So I've been elected as a trustee in Twin Lakes since 2005. So for 17 years now. I was on the Randall Fire Department for 10 years. I'm raising a family of 3 children in the area. And I work for a construction company and do heavy civil construction projects nationwide, focused mostly on transportation and railroad related projects. I have a passion for serving my community, so I've been on the board for as long as I have, and I've
Thank you. Thank
kind
you
of
very much.
wrapping up the introduction here.
Well, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what are the issues in District 23 that you are concerned about lifting up to the county board?
So on the county board, it's really the legislative arm of the county. There's a lot of things that the county does that most residents out in the Kenosha County don't even know about. But the main areas are the services for the sheriff's department, human services, public works, and things of that sort. I think that, we don't always see the presence of the sheriff's department out by us. We don't always see the presence of the highway department, but they are there and serve a very valuable function. So I'm looking to ensure that we get, our adequate service level out in the far western parts of Kenosha County, and to do my part to represent the people of the area when they have concerns with things on the county level. And then also I want to be more transparent, because a lot of people that I talk to are that they don't really know and understand the county board position. It's been pretty quiet over the past few years, so there hasn't been a lot of upheaval, you might say, but people are more concerned now, and they're asking questions.
Are there other issues that you would like to lift up that are important for the county board to consider?
I want to say that, I think it's important that we just, interestingly enough, they just opened up Veterans Park. It's actually my family's land from many, many years ago. And so that's been a really nice addition to the community. We've got a project on Highway EM, or East Lakeshore Drive, that's getting kicked off here. I helped to coordinate that with the county Department of Public Works folks over last year. And we're looking forward to a project in the near future on that.
That's great. Thank you. I wonder if you'd like to now give us about a minute closing statement about why you would like the voters to vote for you as the best option.
Sure, thanks. I'm a very, logical, level-headed type of person. I like to listen with two ears and speak with one mouth. I've come to try to understand the perspective of all people, no matter what walk of life they're coming from, so that we can balance out the opinions and the perspectives of many people. It's an interest, being in public service and on the village board for 17 years, it's really given me an opportunity to kind of weigh in on the issues that are important to people and try to help to solve problems. And that's really where my heart lies, is to serve people and to help solve problems, because each person is usually dealing with some type of an issue. If they're going to reach out to you, it's because they're interacting with either the village or at the county. It's going to be on the county level, and they have a certain problem that they want to get solved. And I want to be the liaison to help solve that and to bring the voice of the people from the 23rd district to the county level, and also help the county grow and develop in the right way on a whole. Because
thank you. Thank you very much, and good luck to you both.